Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Friday, I've just finished work. It's time to work on the Abarth, but this video is just going to be highlighting a couple of tips and tricks on how to get the camber plates to fit without taking any of the brake lines or anything off. Obviously, you've got to be really delicate with those, so I managed to do it. I've not had any problems as yet. And also the camber bolts on the front as well, obviously fitted those. We've run out of time, unfortunately. It was 3 in the morning by the time we get it done, because there wasn't really any videos on how to fit everything without, you know, jacking the car all the way up in the air. It is very difficult and time consuming, definitely when you're doing it in a day after work, because I did it last week on a Friday again, from like 5 o'clock all the way till 3 in the morning, so it took a long time, and that was with Hayley helping me. Without Hayley helping me, I could have been doing it nearly all night. So anyway, let's go out to the car and I'll get underneath the car and show you some of the things that you can do to be able to get these fitted a lot easier, and just help you guys out with fitting these camber plates and the camber bolts, guys. So let's get into it. Before I do go out though, let's make a cup of coffee, because that's important. Yes. 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 Okay guys, so I'm going to just quickly jack up the side of the car just so we can go through the tips and tricks. It's only going to be a quick few tips and tricks on how to do these DNA camber plates. So let's jack up the car and then get this wheel off so I can show you what we're dealing with. While we are down here, I did actually fit these little studs, these little like covers, and they are for £6. They're lovely. I think they really go with the wheels, like a metally colour, and they're really snug as well. 17mm these are, guys, if anyone wants to buy any. 17mm, just from eBay. Just literally, they just snug right on. Make sure you keep this little tool. This tool makes it really easy to get them off. They just literally slide on and slide off. They were a little bit difficult to get on when I washed the wheels. I think that's because of the water, but they're nice and stiff as well when you put them on and off. I mean, the amount of times that I've had these wheels off now, I mean, the neighbour the other day, she said I've had my wheels off more times than her knickers. So yeah, literally they've lasted a long time, to be fair, like considering they've been on and off over the lockdown. So yeah, right, let's get this wheel off. Okay, so wheels off, and we've jacked the car up. Let's get under here so we can see. So that's the camber plate there, the goldy colour, and it sits between the hub and the main part. So them are the bolts there. You don't want to really tighten those down, guys, because you might snap them. And you don't really want that to happen. So the best thing I can say is just tighten them as much as you can with a breaker bar or something to get inside. Like I've shown you on the video, I took out this piece here, so that one and the bottom one, so I took those both out, and then to be able to make it free, you don't need, it's recommended, so don't take my word for it, but this is what I've done. So if you want to do it at home and you don't want to be taking cables and stuff off, then, you know, you don't want to be taking the brakes and all that sort of stuff off. Basically, this plasticky piece here, this one, this won't move, so you've got no chance with this one. This is not going to move at all. What I found is if I released, there is a clip just underneath there, you can see it, just this one here. Then there was this one. I pried this up and out and removed, I believe it was this cable here that was causing the problems. This one just here, so this one here, I pulled this out, and this is solid, you see, this is the brake line, the solid brake line, so you can't move that anyway. So you move this one here, you pull them out, just like, quite easy to pull out, to be fair, just like a little rubber grommet. Put that back in. But I pulled all the way back, so I pulled that one out there, this one out here, and then that line then runs to this little pop out bit here. I also popped this out, this piece here, just little tweezers. I pop that out, and then this other cable runs behind here. See if I can get it. It runs behind that cable there on the right hand side by the two little nipples on the right. That cable there, that's what basically comes through, and where the cutout is on the camber plate, that's what you want to try and avoid with the camber plate. That's why it's got a cutout for. So it is for that little pipe there. Obviously make sure that the thinner side of the camber plate is at the top and not the opposite way around, so that's really, really important, guys. Otherwise you'll have positive rather than negative camber, and no one wants that. So yeah, it is a little bit difficult to get out, but with a bit of wiggling I found that it did come out. You find that the bottom screws will come out easiest, and then after that then there'll be one bolt, whether it's the top one, right or left bolt, I can't remember which one it is, but as you lift it out it will catch. You just have to persevere with it, guys. There is one cable that catches, and I believe it is the plastic one, but it will go over. I think it's that piece there. It catches on this bit here just a little bit, but it will come across. Once you have to get it to a certain angle, and it will lift out. Now, important, I would get someone to help you. So if you just have someone like I had Hayley, she passed me the camber plate, and as I put the camber plate in, then I literally pushed it straight back on, because these are pretty heavy, and when you're trying to fandangle everything in your hands, probably best to get someone to give you a chuck. That would be my guess. And then once you've got it bolted back in, all you do is just snug up the nuts, and then, you know, tighten them down, and then put all these cables back in. That's what I did, guys, and I managed to do it without taking the brakes or anything off, so it did certainly help. And then obviously you've got to replace and put these back in. Since that last video with the springs as well, guys, I did put the other bump stops in. If you can see up here, I don't know whether it's gonna show you, I don't know whether it will. Can you see this black piece here? That's where I was rubbing. So I'm running, again, so you guys know, I'm running a 20mm spacer in the back with the DNA plates, and that's kicking it up. So it's not catching on the arch, but it was catching with the shortened bump stops with the H&R springs. It was catching on the rear, on there, and it was also catching on this piece here. So it was catching. I tried cutting a little bit of the plastic away, but it didn't really help. So you guys know, just literally that's what I did to be able to get them to fit in the rear. Now that did take a lot of time, because to be honest the hardest bit is getting the bolts undone, because there's not enough space. Definitely with the exhaust and everything, it's very, very, very tight. So much easier if you've got a big jack to lift the car all the way up. I don't, I only run a little bottle jack, or that day I had a floor jack, but it's still not a lot. You've got to be able to get right underneath the car, and if you're doing it at home it just takes a bit longer, but it's doable. It's definitely doable, because I've done it. So yeah, and you can tell the difference, guys, when you fit these. Definitely massive difference. So anyway, now let's move on to the front, because obviously we've done the camber bolts as well on the front, so I'll show you the tips and tricks on how to get those loose, because those are also a bit of a pain as well. Okay guys, so with this bolt here, this is the front now. It's much easier to do the front than the back. This is the bolt that you want to replace. So this is the top bolt here, this is the camber bolt that comes supplied, and then this is the bottom bolt. You want to release the bottom bolt just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, so it will allow it to move a little bit. And then you want to release this bolt. Now this bolt can sometimes be a bit stubborn. A lot of cars it's quite stubborn, because it does get a lot of water, definitely a lot more on the passenger side in England, because of where you're driving and the rust and the rain and everything. It's more common that you hit a water and everything on that side. So this is the other side. It was much easier on this side. I used a little propane torch, which you can buy off eBay for a couple of quid, and all you do is you heat up this area. Stay away from all the brake lines, the CV joint, everything like that. You don't want to get any heat anywhere near that. You've got to be really careful. If you're not comfortable doing that, guys, then you can try and do it without. You might be able to get it loose depending on your car. It all depends on the car, the amount of rust and everything built up. It just depends on car to car. So what we want to do is you want to release this bolt from here.
once you release it, the first time I got these bolts here, this bolt, it confused me. Even with the instructions, it confused me. So what you want to do, it's not exactly hard when you've done it once, but the first time you do it, the instructions can seem a bit confusing. Depending on the camber, you can buy a little thing that sticks onto here, and then you can adjust the camber from there with a little level. But what I did was just maxed it out, so the little tabs pointing inwards towards the cart on both sides, and then there's a little arrow, and I've got that pointing inwards as well. So with all that combined together, it gives you quite a bit of camber. It's definitely a little bit more camber in the front than the rear, which is what you want, I guess, if you're wanting a nice darty, sporty feeling from it. So yeah, so you just want to make sure that that's set. Once you've done that, then you can tighten the rear, the lower bolt, and then tighten it all up. Now don't torque it too far down. I believe this was around 38 pounds-foot of torque, so not a lot. You don't need a lot at all. Definitely, if you're going to do it all yourself, guys, invest in one of these bad boys. They'll save you stripping and snapping bolts, so it's really worth it. And then once it's all done, slap it all back together and see what it looks like. But yeah, the front's a lot easier. It's just literally one bolt. If you were just doing the camber bolts themselves, it's not going to take you very long at all. The rear is so much harder to do than the front. So so yeah, anyway guys, I hope you found this bit interesting. I'm going to put this wheel back on and see what it all looks like. So guys, that's the end of the video. It's just a little few tips and tricks to be able to fit these DNA camber plates. If you want the same fitment as me, just follow my simple steps. If there's any information you do want, just drop it down in the comments. Chris, thank you for bringing to light some of the things that needed highlighting in the last video. So I hope this has helped you and other people as well if you need anything. But yeah, if you want the same fitment, guys, or anything that you need answering, give me a shout in the comments. I do answer you guys, so we're only small, but you know, hopefully we can grow it together and build this channel something great. So there is something big coming at the end very, very soon, so stay tuned to the channel. Something really, really big coming. And also we are going to be doing a couple of other little mods this weekend as well, so a couple of videos coming up next week, so stay tuned to the channel for those, guys. Until then, I've been Jake, this has been my little red Abarth. Take care, guys. Bye for now.